Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Fast Frame, and just about any item Fast Frame can frame it. Just about any size or layout they can frame it. Take a look at this. This is a tall piece of work right there. Those are 3 tabloid-sized newspapers, one on top of the other, all in one frame. That thing is tall. So look, if you've got a work of art, if you've got an item of memorabilia, if you've got something that's going to be long vertically or tall horizontally, or that would be the opposite. Tall vertically, long horizontally. You need to take it to Fast Frame. They can do great work. Make Fast Frame, put Fast Frame on your horizon. How about that? All right. 3 quick questions from stuff this week that happened. The NCAA is following the NFL's lead to protect quarterbacks. SEC Coordinator of Officials Steve Shaw said that there will now be what amounts to a quarterback strike zone when the quarterback is in the pocket and in the passing posture is the verbiage on that one. You cannot hit him below the knees at this point. So if you want to hit a quarterback who's back to pass, you have to hit him below the neck and above the knees.
If you're unabated.
Keyword. Okay. And he's in the pocket and he's in posture. Question: is this a good move or a bad move to protect quarterbacks this way?
Good move. I mean, I think it's a good move.
I agree. I think it's a good move to protect him.
Yeah.
And you were kind of hitting toward the strike zone. I guess, was it Brady that led to the NFL situation?
When he took the shot, they gave it his knee. Yeah.
Right.
Pollard hit him in the knee.
And now the college has said, okay, we want to adopt something similar to that.
Yeah. Well, and they specifically said no diving and rolling into the legs, which is the same thing.
And you have to make some kind of adjustment as the players continue to get bigger, stronger, faster, and get there quicker. And if you're coming in with a full head of steam, you could really do some serious damage.
Yeah. Some of the video that Shaw showed to support it, I mean, it was pretty brutal.
Well, he kept showing the Tennessee-Florida Jeff Driscoll getting hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, got to move on very quickly. Steve Shaw was on Sports Talk this week. You got an interview with him, Jimmy, and I thought it was interesting. You asked him about instant replay, specifically the Tennessee-Vanderbilt replay, where I think everyone agrees they probably got the call right. The guy probably got the first down, but by the letter of the law, or at least the law as we've known it, they didn't get it right because you couldn't see the ball. So the NFL rule would be that's inconclusive. You can't make the change. They made the change. Vanderbilt got the win. You asked him about that, and he said that it's replay has kind of grown past being conclusive, the inconclusive thing, and now you need to also take into account football common sense, as he called it. I think that is a horror. I think that is terrible because not everyone has the same amount of common sense. I think it should be, can you see it on the screen? If not, move on. Am I right? Am I wrong? Is this a good thing or a bad thing that they're going to common sense?
So right. Yeah. That's not a rule. That is just open to anybody's interpretation. It's not a rule. That may be the one single dumbest statement I've heard in 2014.
I disagree with you.
Okay.
So Bob just made the dumbest.
I think, yeah, that's right. I think common sense should apply. I do. I've seen many plays where common sense didn't apply, and they got the call wrong.
I think you're lacking common sense.
So I think common sense should apply. I do.
But everybody's different.
You adopt rules based on common sense.
Here's the whole thing. Is the goal to get it right or to trust the officials in charge of the game to get it right? I don't like this because I don't think they're going to change the wording of the rule to reflect that. And common sense, Bob, correct me if I'm wrong, a game earlier that day from the Tennessee-Vanderbilt game, very similar play, they didn't overturn the ruling on the field.
Yeah.
Tennessee-Vanderbilt, they did.
Got to move forward, but I agree. Look, here's how replay should work. If you go up there and you can't make a call in 60 seconds, it's not conclusive, play stands. That's the way it should be. You go up there, it's either conclusive or it's not. And if you spend 5 minutes looking at it, you know what? It's pretty inconclusive. If it takes you 56 angles, it's inconclusive. All right. No common sense. I'm a big believer in no common sense.
Apparently.
Okay. After the NCAA recommendation on Friday, it looks like the Power 5 conferences, or just the 5 conferences, as Mike's Live called them this week, as if there are no other conferences. Very quickly here, guys. If the autonomy gets granted, and it looks like it will to the 5 conferences, SMU's June Jones, former USFL coach, suggested that if all the details could be worked out, rather than get left behind by the big schools, the little schools should just take their game and play in the spring. Play real football in the spring, cut their own TV deals, and because somebody's always going to be willing to pay, and they wouldn't have to take a smaller slice than the big guys. Dumb idea, awful idea, or worse than awful idea? Or do you like it?
It is not as bad as what Shaw said to Jimmy, but it's still pretty bad.
All right. Bad idea?
I think it's a bad idea. Here's the thing, too. How much money are they going to get from a TV contract? They may end up getting less with their own TV contract and splitting the one they got.
Yeah, because you got to offset the losses you would have from playing big schools like we were talking about, Nebraska, Oklahoma. I mean, some of those.
Unless their fear is that Nick Saban eventually is right and all those Big Five teams just play themselves.
If you could work out the logistics, I think he might be onto something.
I think if he works out the logistics, the idea of going out and cutting your own deal isn't a bad one. I think you'd get more money in the spring when people are longing for football than you would trying to go out and cut your own deal. The MAC cutting its own deal with some league now, which ain't going to pay you a whole lot.
God, there have been spring football leagues that have flopped, though.
USFL was doing well until Trump killed it.
He hate me.
All right.
That's XFL.
Oh, same difference. All right, here we go. We will come back and talk about a new possible uniform. Adidas has a new style. We'll talk about Tennessee possibly getting that. Also, the SEC Network. Come on back.